On today's Glory Day show, the baseball season is over, the election is over, and it looks like both the Jets and the Giants are not going anywhere. So it's time for the Hockey Extravaganza with Pete Torgerson.
And we'll take a look at the key teams and players, and we'll talk about some rule changes and look at who we expect to make the playoffs this year.
In our Did You Hear About segment, we will talk about the World Cup of Kadabi and also the Buffalo Bills Mafia.
We are going to make America great again.
Did you have that queued up that way?
No, but the best hour of your sports week is coming up on Glory Days right now. Inravio.com. Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, November 12th, 2016, the beginning of the apocalypse. And you are watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani, and this is my good friend Bruce Older. Older?
I am
You're
older.
not older.
I'm older than you, my friend.
Anthony Mazzallo and Sam Coughlin are behind the glass, and you are joining us on the Inravio TV network, where we stream live from Studio C right here in the great state of New York.
Yeah, the great state of New York.
Good morning, man.
So the big news of the week, something
What?
that will affect you for years, well, for months to come.
What is that?
We pushed the clocks back. Okay? We pushed the clocks back. There's a chill in the air, and that
What a
can only
week.
mean that Christmas is around the corner. So I took my Christmas. You know, I get a chance to wear this tie once a year, man. I said, I'm gonna
So
wear
you
it now.
chose today?
Well, I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna get a chance to wear it a few more times. I'm sure. Okay. Of course, the big news though was the unlikely candidate and unlikely election of Donald Trump.
I will build a great wall.
We'll see if he starts
on the
doing
border,
that.
And I will have Mexico pay for that wall.
Thing
It
that's
still
driving
makes me chuckle.
The thing that's driving me really crazy, though, is the amount of protesting that's going on. You know, like you said, it's the beginning of the apocalypse here. Right. You know, the guy is not even in office. He hasn't even been sworn in yet, and the sky is falling. We seem to forget that we have three branches of the government and there's checks and balances. I mean,
Right.
The president is not the king. He can't do anything that he wants to do. Okay, what's his two biggest powers, Disco? He can veto a bill if he doesn't like it, right? Mm-hmm. And I guess he can write an executive order, okay?
Right.
I mean, that's
But
about...
an executive order is not binding once you leave office.
Yeah.
That's the issue with an executive office. It's only good while you're president.
I see. It's like a get out of jail free card, I guess. You know?
Exactly.
But the other thing that's driving me really crazy is the college campuses. I mean, my God, what have we raised, man? Where people are crying about the outcomes, they're canceling tests, they're giving out hot chocolate and cookies.
I'm going to tell you what's happening right now.
Tell me.
Okay?
Please.
And our two lovely and talented producers will
Attest
either
to this?
agree or not agree.
All right.
Okay? But our children,
Yes.
their age, both the millennials and Generation X, whatever the hell you want to call them, they've never lost before. It never happens. They're just not allowed to lose. They play Little League and everybody gets a trophy. They do this.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, in their lifetime, which included President Obama being voted in 2008 and again in 2012.
Well, aren't they giving Hillary Clinton a participation medal? I think for I don't know.
Yeah, is it a striped suit? No, but really, I think that what this is, these are not really protests; they're temper tantrums.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean, I don't know how to describe them. You know, Disco. When our show ran 2 hours most days, and we got here 3 hours in advance, and we had Mr. B's iPod playing.
Yes.
Okay, the two songs I thought about. Okay, one of them is from the Eagles. Hell freezes over.
Okay.
Okay, get over it.
Get over it.
Get over it. And the other one is the other one we were playing. New Kid in Town. New Kid in Town.
There
Donald
you
Trump
go.
is the new kid in town.
I thought you were going to say the eve of destruction.
Barry Maguire? No. At least I hope not. You know, but some people are being very rational about this. I mean, first of all, you got to give this guy a chance, okay?
Exactly.
You know, and the other thing is they say, you know, this guy is we're all on a plane, and this guy's the pilot. You know, this is like wishing the plane crashes. I mean, you know, that can't happen.
And you're on the plane.
That's right. Exactly right. Exactly.
I was up till 3 in the morning. I don't know if you stayed for the whole thing.
I was not. When I woke up, I didn't know what to expect, and I was very surprised. Now, I also went out to get coffee in the morning on my way into work, and there's 3 old white guys standing there, and they give me a big smile and they pat me on the back like they just assumed that I voted for Donald Trump. I don't know why. Did I look like him or something? I don't know.
Well, you know, the thing was, I've never been this involved in the process.
I know.
I mean, and I was so involved every day. I could not
Disco,
watch.
why didn't you volunteer to staff his campaign headquarters or something, man?
Because I didn't want to do that. I'm not that involved.
Okay, well.
It's kind of like a train wreck. You want to see the train wreck,
You just
but you
don't
don't
want
want
to
to
be
be
part of
part of the train wreck. And then as soon as the train wreck is over, you walk away.
Yeah. Okay.
But I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I specifically tried to stay away from Fox News because I said, well, no matter what's going on,
You mean it's not fair and balanced?
Well, I figured Fox News was actually the most fair and balanced because other CNN and MSNBC were calling states for Trump even before Fox News. They wanted to be 100% sure. And so I said, if I watch these other ones, and I'll get to see that if they really feel that Trump has got a chance here, I think that would be more accurate, you know? So I kept watching the whole thing.
So what'd you watch? MSNBC?
I watched them all. I was
Watch
flipping.
Rachel Maddow?
No, it wasn't her.
Okay.
I don't even know who the people were.
Okay.
But because everybody was
It's
involved.
immaterial. Okay, move on.
But I couldn't believe that as we were watching the results, I said, you know what, he might actually do this.
Yeah.
He actually has a chance to do this.
Yeah.
And I kept looking at the guy kept showing the wall. Not that wall, but they had a video wall.
Not the wall he's going to build. Huh?
Right.
Okay.
And the guy on CNN kept breaking down the little districts and and he kept talking about how in Virginia, for example, okay, Trump was ahead in Virginia with 92 or 93% of the vote in. And I kept saying, how come they didn't call Virginia yet? And then the guy broke it down, and he said that there's certain districts that are very late reporting and very heavily Democratic.
Okay.
And sure enough, they came in, and Virginia flipped back to Hillary, right? So towards the end, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin were all in play.
Yeah.
And Trump had all of them. And they were all in the 80s and 90 percentile. And John Podesta, Hillary's campaign manager, came out and said to the supporters at the Javits Center, listen, go home. This is going to take all night. And we'll see you in the morning, and we'll talk about it in the morning, which I thought was kind of unusual. And I said, well, you know what? Maybe I better just go to sleep now. Because now it was about 2 o'clock. And I said, well, you know what? If I go to sleep and those 3 things flip, she's going to win. You know, so I said, I'll give it another half hour. And then at about 2:30, I said, that's it. I can't do it anymore. And they showed him, they showed that the Trump team and him were driving to the ballroom or wherever it was, because he was staying at Trump Tower, but the party, so to speak, was in another location. So I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to wait and see what he has to say, right? And then at 1:45, the woman on CNN says, you know, I'm confirming right now that Hillary Clinton has conceded.
Wow.
And I said,
Yeah.
He is Donald Trump.
Is the president.
And the only thing I could think of is one of my favorite scenes in the movie Back to the Future.
Okay.
When he's trying, when Marty McFly is trying to convince Doc Brown that he's from the future,
Yeah.
and he says, "So, future boy,
Yeah.
who's the president in
Ronald
1985?
Ha, the
Ronald
actor.
Reagan, the actor."
Yeah, yeah.
He says, "Well, who's the vice president? Jerry Lewis."
Yep.
And that's the only thing I could
Yeah.
think of
Yeah.
at that time. But you know what? I think I said last week that my wife had says Donald Trump seems like he's on Xanax lately in all his speeches and stuff. And sure enough, he came out and he was very gracious.
Yeah.
You know, there was somebody that said something that to be a leader, you have to be dynamic and bombastic when you're like during the campaign.
Yeah.
But then you have to be magnanimous.
Magnanimous.
When you win.
Yeah.
And that's exactly
Well,
what
that's
he
right.
was.
I mean, he can't gloat, and I don't think that he did gloat. You know, I don't think.
I think everybody was expecting him to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Hillary.
Yeah.
What did they expect him to do?
But the two things that have come up since then is, okay, you know, now people are criticizing the Electoral College, you know. But I'll tell you what, you know, if you looked at the counties, I don't know if you saw that. You saw that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, so I mean, it was the big cities that she won, and that carried the states that she won.
Well,
too.
I saw I wish I had pulled it because I saw the best graphic ever. Okay, it was a graphic of.
It's like the Verizon map, right?
Yeah, no,
exactly.
but what they
With the
showed you
coverage,
was
yeah.
they showed you if they took the population of the country and split it in half.
Yeah.
They then highlighted where half the people in the country live.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the entire country, it was just a little bit on the East Coast,
Yeah.
a little bit on the West Coast, a little bit up north,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And that was it. So the reason, I mean, our forefathers, the guys that came up with this, it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have a change for it.
Okay.
Okay. You know how they say you
3 out of 5. Okay. It's going to be a 3 out of 5 election. Okay. No, not that. Okay. Well, let me hear what it is. Okay.
Okay, the Electoral College.
Yes.
I do not have a problem with that working.
Yeah.
Okay, because that helps the underpopulated areas
Yeah.
become just as
Significant.
important. Right?
Yeah.
So, my problem with the Electoral College, and let's just use California
As an
and New
example?
York as an example. Okay, well, let's just use New York. Sorry, New York. I believe I don't know. Is it 29 electoral votes for New York? Is it more than 29? 29? Okay, so 29 votes.
Mm-hmm.
But all 29 votes come from whatever the popular vote is
Yeah.
in New York State. Why don't we apply the same thing to the Electoral College votes that they do in Maine?
Interesting.
And they
So
do in Nebraska.
did you do any kind of research, any kind of analysis to see what?
Zero.
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 Okay.
However, what I would like to do is because
The
I'd
booth
like
is now going to work on that for the next half hour. I'm sure that's something you
I'd
can do in a
like to
couple of
address
minutes
the
there, you know.
people who live in New York State, like me,
Yeah.
that are.
Like me too.
Well, I don't know if it's like you because I never asked you who you actually vote for.
Okay.
Okay, but I am a Republican, and when you look at the New York State map, it says all of Long Island, Queens and Nassau, Nassau and Suffolk vote Republican. All of upstate vote Republican.
Well, except this election though, Nassau County voted more for Hillary Clinton. Believe it or not.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Okay, but
I did a little research on that.
my question is that why doesn't every state
Mm-hmm.
assign a number of their electoral votes based on how the counties vote, so that this way, just winning
Yeah.
New York State doesn't guarantee you, because let's face it, Clinton.
Well, but
and
what you're
Clinton
saying is that
did
every
not have
county-
to spend a lot of time in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, but I guess what you're saying is that basically every county counts the same, and I don't think you
Well,
can.
no, not every
No?
county, but the same way you weigh the
Yeah.
electoral votes
You would
with
weight
the
it that way.
population.
Okay, so it wouldn't
but I
be,
think that what's happened
So you're saying
is,
it wouldn't be it would be a split though for each state.
yeah, because granted, New York State has 29 electoral votes. Maybe 20 of them come from wherever the most populated area, but the other 9 should come from the other place. I think that would make everybody feel that their vote actually does count. I think that's pretty good.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You know?
And the other thing,
Get me
real
more
fast,
rules?
I have enough time for one more theory? Okay, and I think I might have talked about this last election.
Okay.
Okay, the presidency should be one term, 6 years.
6 years.
Not
So
4 years.
You did mention that.
6 years.
Yeah.
It should be one term, 6 years, with no chance for reelection. Because that would make you spend your entire 6 years as president, concentrating on being president. Because if you get elected, after 2 years, you're already having to concentrate on getting reelected. Okay? So I'm saying one term, 6 years, and that's
Disco,
it.
so far you came with 2 good rules, man.
All right? Two
Yeah,
pretty good
I like it.
Listen, I've already saved the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to save baseball with the designated hitter, and now I'm saving the world.
Hopefully.
I'm Batman.
I am Batman.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
All right.
How about we take a break here?
Why don't we do that?
All right. We're just getting started here on the Glory Day Show. When we come back from the break, it's time to talk a little hockey with Pete Torgerson, our hockey maven. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Inravio TV network. We are coming right back.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show here with Bruce and Disco on the Inravio TV network. Imagine if you woke up on Christmas morning and you weren't allowed to open your presents. Imagine that your parents said, "Don't worry, little Petey, we will celebrate Christmas February after the Super Bowl." That's kind of what happened with our NHL preview here on the Glory Day Show as the World Series and the presidential election pushed it out until today. On our phone is that little boy who's been waiting since the season began a few weeks ago to finally talk about it. Our hockey kid, Pete Torgerson. Pete, how are you, my friend?
Great, gentlemen. What's happening?
All right.
Listen, by the way, I have to say congratulations to Massachusetts because
What do we do now?
they voted to allow marijuana use.
Are we taking a trip up there anytime soon, Disco, do you think?
I don't know, did they vote for medical marijuana use or did they voted for recreational marijuana?
Recreational, wow.
Yeah, medical's already here, and they voted for recreational. They should have done a field trip to Denver before they pulled that one up. Denver's a disaster. There's more young kids homeless walking around with Dunkin' Donut cups than I was out there a few months ago. I was shocked at what a mess it is. But
But they're making money.
Somebody had posted a picture of, I guess, Girl Scouts selling their cookies outside of these dispensaries in Colorado.
I went in one of those places just to check it out in Denver.
Yeah. You didn't inhale, Pete, did you?
No, I don't.
Of course
I don't
not.
know that stuff, but just looking at the place, they got all the candies and the brownies and the cookies, and then everything. It's like a Cheech and Chong movie for crying out loud. It's real organized, very secure, all kinds of security. So it was
My
interesting.
goodness. Well, I wonder what that means now. Does that mean that, like, that if you go to a football game or a baseball game, and instead of smoking a cigarette in the smoking section, you could just light up a joint? Is that what that means?
Yeah, in Denver, you walk down the street there, outside cafes, people sitting there just smoking a bone.
But I mean, you can't drink alcohol in the street, right? I mean, you can't just walk around with an open beer, right? I mean, is it the same kind of a restriction?
Hey, man. I thought we were supposed to be talking about hockey.
That's why I have my safe zone that I can go to if that stuff offends me or anything like that. If anybody's drunk or high.
Well, you know what?
Gotta have your safe zone.
Well, not. Hey, we got to be careful of the trigger words here.
Yeah.
So now you go to a Boston Bruin game.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously, you're not going to be smoking in the stadium because you can't smoke. But you could certainly be eating cookies and pieces of chocolate.
Yeah.
You think that'll like bring down the energy?
No.
In the arena, I think it will.
I don't think so.
Well, I've seen people, not myself.
You've heard about them.
I've heard about the fact that if people that smoke marijuana, they get very mellow. Maybe that's what this country needs, to mellow out.
And it shouldn't affect driving because they drive 6 miles an hour.
See, it will reduce the rate of accidents.
Life's going to be a big Cheech and Chong movie.
Hey, how's my driving, man? I think we're parked. Oh, righty then.
You guys haven't partaken this morning, have you? Jeez, we're awful silly over there in Long Island.
You know what? We've been silly now for 2 weeks with this whole Donald Trump thing.
Crooked Hillary Clinton. We can't let it happen.
This stupid Donald Trump button has been making us laugh for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
It's been a wonderfully funny thing, and it's an amazing experience, Although our states always vote Democratic. Massachusetts usually votes Democratic, so the whole Northeast. I was really surprised at Pennsylvania that Pennsylvania was able to pull this off.
Yep. That was one of the key turning points.
So who plays in Pennsylvania? The Flyers and the Penguins. The Penguins won the Stanley Cup, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
So Pete, you gonna talk a little hockey with us now, man?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All righty. So what we wanted to talk about is, obviously, we're already 13, 14 games into the season. What do you like so far? What do you think is going on?
I hate to say it, but I love the Rangers.
Yeah, they look good. What are they, 10-4,
They're
I think.
Exciting
last I
team.
saw.
They're fast. They go to the net. They move the puck. Nash is playing well. DC's a great addition. Their defense is moving the puck. They got the king in goal. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, Grabner looks like he's finally found a scoring touch a little bit there, man. Huh?
Yeah, that's the Grabner that we like.
Yeah, exactly right. God knows how many breakaways he had for the Islanders. I bet you his conversion rate was less than 10%.
Yeah, you know why? Because he was so excited he got a breakaway, he forgot he had a finish.
Yeah, that's right. But the Rangers are looking very, very good. I was going to ask you what your biggest surprise is. That your biggest surprise that they're playing so well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and I think that team goes as Nash goes, and Nash is scoring. He's energized. For the early games he's been playing with VC. I think they're breaking them up a little bit now, but he's the leader of that team, and as the Rangers go.
We've got a graphic up of the current standings of the Metropolitan Division. And right now, so far, the surprise in the division might be the Jersey Devils, who didn't make the playoffs. They haven't lost a home game yet.
Well, you know what? Jersey Devils are rock solid in goal. And they had that big deal with Taylor Hall. from what my sources tell me, the kid's a cancer, and they wanted to get him out of Edmonton. So I don't know if he's going to help or hurt or what the deal is, but Schroeder, that's his name, right? The goalie?
Right, yes.
Yeah.
He's from Long Island, by the way.
He's not from Long Island. He's from Massachusetts.
Yeah, but he lived on Long Island.
No, he stopped there for 10 minutes for crying out loud. That's like you saying I'm from Long Island because I work there. Fine.
Well, you used to spend a lot more time out here.
Yeah. He's from like Gloucester or somewhere. He went to BC, and he was with Vancouver, and they made the trade. The other team that I like a lot is the Maple Leafs.
Toronto. Yep, they were a non-playoff team last year, Pete.
Yep, and you know why I like them a lot? Because they got my boy Matt Martin out there.
That's right, Matt Martin.
Did you see him? Did you see him fight 5 guys the other night?
No, I missed that.
He lost his mind a little bit.
You know, the Islanders are one of the disappointments. They just are looking like a mess right now, and I think we talked about this before. I mean, the 3 guys that they lost to free agency, they tried to replace, but they really didn't get the same level of quality. And I'm talking about Kyle Oposo, Franz Nielsen, and Matt Martin. Right. You know.
Yeah. That fourth line was what made the Islanders go. You know, you don't let the guy. 2 things. You don't let Oposo walk away.
Yeah.
With all the, you had to get either Oposo or Nielsen just because you can't lose that many goals.
Exactly.
You can't
right.
let Martin go. He led the league in hits the past 5 years. He's a high energy guy. He knows his role. He knows what he has to do, and he made Clutterbuck better. You know, it was a nice mix. They had a nice chemistry. You know, they bring Ladd in. What's he going to? He's got 2 goals. He scored his first 2 goals
just the other night.
Yeah. Well, Poso's already got, I think, 7 goals. So it's not a. I don't think it was a healthy trade-off with that.
I could see them losing. I was hoping they wouldn't lose any of these guys. And then I was saying, well, at least they'll keep one. If they're going to keep one, let's keep Franz Nielsen. I love Kyle Oposo.
Right.
But, I mean, I would have been happy if they would have kept one of those 2 guys.
Right.
And they weren't able to keep any of them.
I mean, it's so fun. Last year, the thing that they did well last year was they played okay on the road last year, and they won a lot of their home games last year. This year, they haven't won a road game.
Yeah.
Haven't won a road game all
They're
year.
not looking that hot at home either.
And they had a string of 10. I think they had a string of 10 out of 14 games at home.
Yeah.
Early in the year, and they've only won 5 home games. I think they're in deep trouble.
And you know why? Because it's not a home game because they have to travel to get to it.
You said that last year too.
You're absolutely right.
Yep. They're all road games for him, and the ice sucks in Brooklyn. And Tavares is getting frustrated, and he's going to be on the Maple Leafs in 2 years. It's a disaster. They got to do something there. They need to build a rink out in Long Island or in Queens or somewhere.
There you
now,
go.
This is a joke.
You know enough about hockey, and at this point, I think that the Islanders have to make an evaluation because they have to evaluate their players. And if they think their players that they have are good enough to win, then that means the coach has to go.
Yeah.
And because once the coach starts losing the locker room, so to speak, and the players start losing faith in the system, he's got to go. And what I don't understand is, I know that you want to talk about your 4th line and they want to show. And granted, their 4th line again, even though it's not as strong as it was last year, it still is doing very well this year with Clutterbuck or whatever. And he starts games with that line. I just don't understand this. Tavares is in his walk year next year.
Yeah.
And they have to do something to make this guy want to stay here, and I don't think they're doing that.
Yeah. They have some depth at goaltender, but that's a problem for them too right now, you know?
Yeah.
Goaltender's a huge problem because they're carrying the 3 goalies, and he's saying, listen, I'm not getting enough shots in practice. When your agent comes out and makes a statement like that, after the World Cup he had, it's like you don't want to have 2 shortstops. You don't want to have 2 catchers. You want a go-to guy. You want a goalie like they have in Boston. You got Tuca. He's going to play 80% of the games, and you want a solid backup. You can't worry about sending somebody down because they're going to get picked up.
It's not like pitching where you say, oh, you could never have enough pitching. You got to have a goaltender that gets most of the reps, that gets most of the games. He needs an occasional night off. You got to do that. And I think this 3-headed monster that they have here,
it's a problem.
I think that they're going to have to make a decision. I think you got to move.
It doesn't work. It's proved historically. It does not work.
Right. And I think they have to move one of these guys and get themselves a sniper, a guy that could put the puck in the net. Once again, they're having problems scoring. I mean, they've got what? They've got 38. They've got 38 goals in 14 games. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the Rangers have 58 goals. The Rangers have 20 more goals in those same 14 games.
And what? There's
Guess what that difference turns out to be?
Yeah.
You're not in the playoffs. And what's the goals against difference, too?
That's right. Plus 24, I think, is what
Yeah,
they are. or something.
right now the difference, the Rangers are plus 24. I believe, and I'm looking real fast, that is the highest. That is the highest in the league.
The graphic is up there. Let's see if we can.
All right, Pete, we're gonna take a quick break. Hang on with us, and when we get back, we'll talk a little bit about the West, and we'll talk about some predictions. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, Pete.
We're going to take another break here on Glory Days, and when we get back, like I just said, we will continue with Pete Torgerson to talk about the NHL. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. We're coming right back.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Inravio TV network.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Inravio TV network.
We got Pete still on the phone?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're just joining us, where the hell have you been for the last 40 minutes? Yeah. Anyway, on our phone is our hockey maven, Pete Torgerson. Pete, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Didn't I do that very professionally?
Wow, yeah, it sounds like you know what you're doing.
All righty. I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of specific things. All right. I wanted to talk about some rookies, and I want to know who you think is the best rookie of the group. Obviously, you got the kid Austin Matthews from Toronto. Who
What do you
came
have,
out,
6 goals in that first game or something, man?
Yeah.
What do you? I think it was 4. I think is what it was.
right? And then you got Patrick. Is it Leon? Lane? How do you pronounce that? The guy
I think it's
on,
Lane.
Yeah,
Toronto.
I think it's Lane.
I mean
too.
Winnipeg. Then you got Artemi Panarin. Is that how you pronounce it? Looks like Chris Narin.
Si.
In Chicago, and Puljavari in Edmonton. These are names that, if I can't pronounce them, I don't know if I could vote for them. No, but really, who do you think over the course of the year is going to continue to go? Obviously, Matthews had the big
opening night.
The big opening night.
The thing that surprised me about him, I didn't realize he's from Arizona, man. That's not like
Yeah.
a hockey. That's not like a hockey town, a hockey bed, hotbed.
He's a Coyote guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I think the kid in Winnipeg has the biggest upside. He's special. The way he moves the puck. The kid in Chicago, he's fortunate just playing with so many great players. So
Right.
he has an advantage there. But I'm all in for the kid in Winnipeg. I think the kid in Toronto he'll be okay. But I think that he started out that big bang start off, but he'll level off, which he has. He's just he's a great NHL player, but it's.
One of the things about Winnipeg is last year they scored a ton of goals last year. Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And already this year they've got. I'm looking here. They got 45 goals already this year. So he's on a team that scored a lot of goals last year.
They need a goalie. Maybe the Islanders can trade him one of their goalies.
Yeah.
They have a goalie. Their goalie's from the University of Lowell. He's good.
Oh,
He's
okay.
fine.
Whoa, sorry, Pete. Sorry.
See that?
Yeah.
You went into an area you shouldn't have gone.
Don't bite my head off, man.
All right, I want to play a little game with you here.
Hey, one last thing before we play the game. Another big thing is the biggest trade of the summer was Shea Weber going to Montreal.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey, didn't Montreal start out undefeated last year also?
Yeah,
I don't know, undefeated. They had a pretty good
Well,
record.
right
And they
now,
went
I mean,
to tank.
they've only lost one game, I believe, all year. Yeah, they're 12 and 1.
They lost the one game 10-0.
Yeah.
And Weber wasn't even a minus. He wasn't on the ice for any of the 10 goals.
Wow.
The guy's a freak. He's gonna. Montreal, if Price stays healthy, they're gonna be.
Well,
tough
tell
to
you what,
play.
give me 5 teams that you think are really good. Well, you know what? I'm going to give you 5 teams I think are really good, and then you let me know. Okay? I think Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, and Washington are 3 very good teams out of the East, and San Jose, and especially Nashville. I think Nashville.
You're not
might
listing
go.
Montreal in that. Why
No,
not?
I just don't know about Montreal yet. I'm not sure. So, Pete, who if you had to pick 5 teams that you think are really good, who would they be?
As I told you, I like the Rangers.
Yeah, you didn't mention the Rangers either.
I don't like that. I can never vote for the Reds. It's like I know how good the Patriots are, but I'd never put them on a list.
You should.
You're not a professional journalist. You're a fanboy.
No, I'm not. I never think I am. No, so who do you like? So you think the Rangers?
Media.
It's
So
a
I
rigged
like,
system. Go ahead.
the teams you mentioned. My question is, can the Capitals get over the hump?
Yeah.
Right.
They always come up a little short. I don't know if it's the Ovechkin theory or what it is, but they always almost get there. Tampa, I don't love them this year. I usually always love them, but not so much this year. Ranger, Pittsburgh, Washington. My dark horse there is Columbus, and I like what Philadelphia is doing, if they can get hot. I don't like the Islanders. I don't like Carolina. Florida's the biggest disappointment. They had a great run last year. They're down the bottom already this year. They got to dig their way out.
They're on the bottom with the Islanders.
Yeah.
How about Buffalo, Pete? What do you think about them?
They're not there yet.
Yeah.
They made some nice trades. I think Eichel getting hurt is a key factor there. He seems to be the glue there. So that's a big disappointment there.
Do you think that Columbus is doing
Edmonton-
well because of Tortorella or in spite of Tortorella?
No. I think they're a great team. They have
They have a lot of talent on the team.
Yeah, they have a lot of young guys. Foligno scoring. My boy Cam Atkinson over there. He does a nice job. And Tortorella, he makes people accountable. That's huge.
He's the Donald Trump of hockey.
I don't think. What's that?
I said he's the Donald Trump of hockey.
He is. You don't stand for the national anthem, find a new team.
Yeah. I mean, I always liked him. I know that.
Our leaders are stupid. Politicians are stupid.
I know that there are a lot of people. I know the Rangers didn't like him or whatever, but I like that type of a coach.
He's fiery. The guy is fiery.
I
for
wish
sure.
he was. I think that's what the Islanders need. I think the Islanders need a guy who's going to light a fire under them and say, "Hey, you know what? This is your chance here. You're in the freaking NHL here."
Right. So if you want 5 teams in the East,
no, not 5 teams in the East, just 5 teams altogether.
5 teams altogether.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with the chalk. You got Montreal, you got the Rangers, Chicago. I'm going to throw my 2 wild cards will be the Minnesota Wild and the surprising Edmonton Oilers.
You think Edmonton's going to be okay?
they have 39 first-round number 1 overall draft picks in Carolina. Something has to happen at some point, and they've just moved into their new arena.
A broken clock
they're
is
in
right
first
twice
place.
a day, right?
All right, here's
got
what I'd
rid of-
like to do. In the Eastern Conference, there's 16 teams. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to read to you the list of teams that did not make the playoffs last year. And you tell me if any of these teams are going to make the playoffs this year. Okay?
Go ahead.
All right. Carolina, Columbus, Boston, Buffalo, Montreal, Ottawa, New Jersey, and Toronto. Do any one of those teams make the playoffs this year?
Absolutely.
Who? Well, you said you liked Columbus.
Do I have to say the Bruins? I
You
think-
could
I
say
think
whoever you
Montreal-
want, but just remember, whoever you say is going to make the playoffs, I'm going to read you the list of the teams that made the playoffs, and you're going to tell me who's not. So give me.
Easy enough.
All right. So you got Carolina, Columbus,
Yep.
Boston, Buffalo, Montreal, Ottawa, New Jersey, Toronto. Who makes the playoffs?
Yeah. Montreal. Mm-hmm. Columbus. Because Columbus, for the first time, they're starting out strong.
Right.
They always start the season 2-10,
Right.
whatever. They're 6-4 now, so
Yeah.
they're out of the gate okay.
Okay.
Ottawa is due, but I'll hold off on them. But I'll go with Montreal.
And
I'll
Columbus.
go with and the Bruins. I got confidence in
Oh,
the
the
Bruins.
Bruins.
So you
The
got.
rest
So
is-
you
is
think 3
playing well.
teams? Okay.
Yep.
So now we're going to look at the playoff teams that made it. So 3 of these teams can't make it. Detroit.
Yep. I'll give it to you right off. The Islanders,
Okay.
Florida.
You got Detroit, Philadelphia,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh,
My
the Rangers.
my bubble team. My bubble swap is Boston for the Boston for the Flyers.
Nice.
That'll be my.
Oh, so you're taking the Flyers out. You're leaving
Yeah,
in.
that's
So you're
gonna, that's
leaving
gonna be
in.
that.
Yeah, so you're leaving in Detroit, Philadelphia. I'm sorry. You're leaving in
Detroit.
Washington, Tampa, Rangers, Pittsburgh, Montreal, Columbus, Boston. That's your teams.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And it's going to come. I say Boston, Philadelphia are going to be battling for the last spot.
All right, now we're going to look at the Western Conference.
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, again, it's a little less because they don't have 16 teams. They only have 14 teams. Okay? So, these are the teams that did not make the playoffs in the Western Conference. Arizona, Calgary, Colorado, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Winnipeg. So there's 6 teams that didn't make the playoffs. Who do you like from that group to make the playoffs this year?
I like Winnipeg.
Winnipeg, okay. Not Edmonton.
Yep.
You know,
Edmonton.
my son,
And
Winnipeg
Edmonton.
and Edmonton.
You know, my son Kevin, when he was little, we used to play NHL '94 on the on the Sega, and he always used to call them loser peg.
Okay. All right.
All right, no, go put that back up.
Here we
Okay,
go.
so now if you're giving me 2 teams, you got to take 2 teams off. Do you know who? Or you want me to go through the list?
Dallas and L.A.
Dallas
Dallas
and
and
LA.
LA,
LA?
wow.
Really, Pete? LA?
Yep.
Wow, that's surprising. I have to tell you. You know, because I would have thought that you might have gone for somebody like Vancouver. But
Yeah. Yep.
but you know what? Listen, right now, the Dallas Stars, they're doing just about as good as the Islanders. You know what I mean?
Lindy
And the
Ruff?
Kings-
Is Lindy Ruff still there?
And Quick is still out. He's going to miss the whole season.
You think so?
Wow.
I think the LA Kings need a goaltender.
The Islanders have a goaltender.
Islanders have a bunch
3
of
goaltenders.
Do we have anybody from the Kings that we want? Who would you trade for Halak if you're the LA Kings?
The L.A. Kings, they don't really, who are their snipers?
I
The
don't
older
know.
guys. They don't have any. They're a second, third line team, more so than a high skill. They don't have a Sidney Crosby or Kessel. The captain is their biggest scorer, but I don't know. I just don't like the Kings. I saw them play twice.
Drew Doughty? How about Drew Doughty?
Drew Doughty's he's their best player.
Yeah,
He's
well,
their
he
best
wouldn't come
player.
cheap. He
Well,
wouldn't
look,
come
maybe
cheap.
we could put something together. Maybe we can
No,
give them
not a
2
chance.
goalies.
Doughty's not going anywhere. Plus, those guys don't want to get traded. They all live in Manhattan Beach. They're the happiest guys in America.
All right, we got a couple minutes left. I wanted to talk to you about some things in general about hockey. Now, you obviously...
So let me start out with the first question. Does Pete Torgerson belong in the Quinnipiac University Hall of Fame?
I think so.
Yes. Pete, I know you're a humble guy. You would say that, but I mean, your name is up there. What, third in that poster, man, with all the guys with 100 points plus, right?
Discuss that amongst yourself.
Okay, all right. We're going to start a grassroots movement. Disco talked about doing that 2 years ago. We got to do it. We're going to make it happen, Pete.
We're going to find out what exactly we have to do to make you do it. All right, so we got a couple minutes left. You being a referee, I want to know what you think about, we had a whole year now on the rule changes from last year. The 3-on-3 overtime, the fact that the coaches now have a challenge for things like offsides and stuff, which has been used kind of effectively, And the other one, which you talked about a lot, was that the defending player has to get their stick down first on face-offs. What do you think? You think it's had an effect on anything as far as, especially the coach's challenge? Does that have an effect on you if you're a referee?
I hate the coach's challenges on offsides where it comes down to 0.6 of an inch, somebody's foot up in the air. I think that's garbage. It's similar to baseball where, the guy slides into second and his belt comes off the bag for a second and, they run it back. I get rid of that. Put some, human error in there. I think
they didn't do that much during the regular season, but in the playoffs, there were I can remember 3 or 4 occurrences where basically they called him off because the guy was offside or they verified that he was, and it was like you say, it's very close, but it's a judgment call, man. It really is.
It's a judgment call.
Yeah.
It's like balls and strikes.
Guess what? Those linesmen are like home plate umpires. They're 99.9% right. Go back when the Islanders were winning. Remember that one play where the offside. Puck came up to the point. It was offside by 4 feet.
Yeah.
That was a different time. These guys they're on the ball. They don't miss. They're good. They're steady. And so now these guys are thinking, oh man, is that offside? They start thinking because there's 6 cameras on them and they can run it back and then they got to look at it. It's embarrassing for those guys.
It is, and I think it's another thing is, now every time something is even close at the blue line, the coach is just holding it in that pocket and saying, well, it doesn't matter what happens here because if they score a goal, I'm going to challenge it.
And they have screens on the bench. They don't even have to call upstairs. They're finding out as it's happening. Yeah, they have screens right on the benches now, so that they can see it as it's happening. So there's not a delay.
And I have a rule question for you.
Okay.
Okay. When a penalty is called, they always have the face-off in the attacking zone, right?
Correct.
Right. Why is it that if a penalty spans over the into the next period, they have the face-off at center ice?
Wow. Look at you. Well, because so if the penalty's at the 20.
Yeah, if the penalty is continuing, let's say there's 30 seconds left on the penalty.
Because the start of the period trumps everything.
No, I don't think so. I think that they should, because, when you start, when you have a penalty, when you have a face-off at center ice, it's got to take you 6, 8, 10 seconds before you can collect the puck, gather yourself, get into things.
Yeah, but Disco, you're missing a step.
Okay.
You get the advantage when you get the penalty, and then
it's only
what
once.
happens?
That's right. It's
a
a one-time event.
Deal. You don't get it a second time. But I like your thinking.
You see, that's why you're my favorite. Because you think like a referee, and I think like a fan.
There you go.
All righty, Pete. We're out of time, man.
Thanks for calling in there, buddy. We'll see you soon. We're going to make a little trip up for some recreational marijuana.
Yeah, we may have to come and visit you now.
Yeah, I'll send you packages once a week.
Yeah, send me cookies. And, nah. We don't do
If you
that
see Roger-
sort of
If you
thing.
see Roger Goodell down there, send him my regards.
All right.
Brady says hi.
Sounds good, man.
All right, Pete, thanks.
You guys don't want to talk about those Patriots. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Well, we'll forget about that.
We're ignoring that completely. Although, I have to say, once again, who are the only two people that came out in support of Donald Trump? Tom Brady and freaking Bill Belichick. They only know how to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're winners.
Unbelievable. All right, man, we got to get going.
All right, guys.
All right, Pete,
Have a
thanks,
good
talking to
day.
you, Pete.
Thanks again.
Have a good weekend.
That is it. We love talking to Pete. All right, we're going to take one more break. When we come back, we'll have a few stories you may not have heard about in our Did You Hear About segment. Then we'll wrap up for the weekend. Stay with us. You're watching The Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
What's up, guys? We're Scared on Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Rich Weller. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you're punching the But if you have this bracelet from Inravio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Inravio TV network. Here on the Glory Day Show, we know that most sports fans can find out the score of their favorite team by going to a website or turning on ESPN. So we try to do something different and sometimes disturbing.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the missing.
Because you know that we have a sophisticated yet slightly twisted audience. This is a little segment that we call Did You Hear About? Story number one brings us to a sport that I can guarantee you have never heard of before. In the first 2 weeks of November, we've seen quite a bit of history being made in both the sports world and in the political arena. It started with the drama surrounding the Baseball World Series and the Chicago Cubs trying to snap a 108-year streak without a championship. The Cubs fought through 2 tough playoff series and then found themselves behind the Cleveland Indians 3-1, having to win 3 straight to finally bring home their elusive World Series hardware. Of course, another underdog was aiming for an even higher plateau. Donald J. Trump was aspiring to become the first elected president that had never held public office or had never served in the military. He was up against one of the most powerful and influential political families, not named Kennedy or Bush, the Clintons. But triumph he did as the American people elected him as our 45th president in one of the most stunning upsets in political history. And while our country was preoccupied with the Cubs and our choice as leader of the free world, we missed the World Cup Kabaddi Championships between those friendly rivals, India and Iran. You mean you never heard of Kabaddi?
I never heard of Iraq or Iran. No.
Well, try to imagine dodgeball without the actual dodgeball.
Okay. Teams of 7 players each line up on opposite sides of a 33 by 43 foot rectangle and send one player called a raider across the midcourt line to tag as many opponents as he can before he tries to make his escape back over the line and onto his own side before being tackled. If a player is tagged and the raider can get any part of his body back across the line, that player is out and taken off the court while the Raiders team is awarded a point. Of course, if the Raider doesn't tag anyone or he doesn't get back across the line, the other team gets a point. Of course. Okay.
Of course, right? How else could it be?
Right. Did I mention that the Raider must take a breath before heading across the line and cannot inhale until until he returns back across the line?
Right? Is that amazing? You have to take a deep breath and then you have to try and tag somebody and you can't exhale until you get across the line.
So how, you may ask, does the referee know the Raider is not taking his breath? Maybe they put a harmonica in his mouth. Okay.
Well, inquiring minds would know. Okay. Inquiring minds want to know. How do they know?
Well, he has to continue to chant Kabaddi with their exhaling breath to show that they have not inhaled.
So the entire time you're doing this, you have to go Kabaddi. Kabaddi,
Kabaddi,
Kabaddi. While you're trying to tag.
I guess so.
An adult.
The game is played out over 2 20-minute halves with a 5-minute halftime break. Congratulations to this year's winner, India, which won 37-29. Unlike the Cubs and Donald Trump, this was not the first time that India was captured the Kabaddi World Cup. They won the first cup in 2004, then repeated its champions 3 years later in 2007, and again 3 years later in 2010. After that, the World Cup was held annually, and well, India has won all 9 Kabaddi World Cups. Have you ever been to India or seen the movie Slumdog Millionaire? Maybe they just don't know how to hold their breath any longer than anyone else on the planet. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I haven't been to India, but I understand that there is a pungent odor that you have to get used to.
Okay.
So I guess theoretically, if you could hold your breath, I guess swimmers might be good Kabaddi players.
Yeah, you're right. Underwater specialists, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
All right. I'd like to talk about story number 2.
Okay.
Okay. Now, story number 2. I think that WikiLeaks has finally was directly involved with what happened on Tuesday night.
On Tuesday night?
Yes.
What happened Tuesday night?
There was an election.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. On Monday evening,
yes,
a photograph was revealed.
Yeah.
By WikiLeaks.
By WikiLeaks?
Yes. A former police officer.
Yeah.
From Suffolk County. His name is Dave Miller.
Dave Miller.
Okay.
Is he from Miller Place?
This is a photo of him and Hillary Clinton at a fundraiser back in the early 2000s. And if you'll notice, on the back of it is Hillary Clinton writing to him, "Thanks for everything," with a smooch signal. With a smooch. I think this brought down Hillary Clinton.
You think so? Thanks for everything.
Thanks for everything. And I think that finally showed the American people that if she's going to go out with Dave Miller,
Yeah.
then she's no good.
So is Dave Miller a deplorable?
Dave Miller is the greatest.
Do you know Dave?
I know Dave. Dave
know
Miller
Dave?
is the greatest Republican I've
Oh, yeah?
ever met.
Really?
And there is nobody on this
More so
planet.
than your cousin.
Well, I guess
Anthony
they're pretty
we talked about
close.
last week. Okay.
And I don't think there's anybody on the planet that detests Hillary. Can we put that picture back up for a second? Of course, I'm just kidding.
No.
But look at his face. Is that a person that doesn't want to be there?
It could be.
I love Dave. And Dave, this
Maybe
is...
he had a case of gas. I don't know.
Dave, this is... Yeah, that's the gas right next to him. And Dave, this is for you.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.
There you go. All right. I
That
think
is
that's going to
something,
about do it for us.
And we are out of here. Okay.
All righty. So let's just do a quick thank yous.
Yes, let's do that.
And we'll be out of here. Okay. Thanks again to Pete Torgerson for giving us a hand here today and helping us out with our hockey preview. We always like talking to Pete.
I love talking to Pete. Pete's
You know,
a great guy.
there's nobody that knows more about hockey than Pete Torgerson. So for all of you Islander fans who he has said for the last 2 years that we may or may not, that we might win the Stanley Cup, we're in deep trouble this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
He's not even picking us to make the playoffs.
They're not looking good. They are not.
All right, thanks to our producers, Anthony Malazzo and Sam Coughlin, for all their hard work and making us look so good out here. And of course, again, thanks to Pete. He's the best. Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week and for allowing us to bring you this type of quality programming. And of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget, check out the Glory Days on-demand page on www.inravio.com, and you can watch any of our past shows or any of the other great shows on the Inravio TV network. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you next time. Here was Dennis Miller, and we are out of here.